At 70, Kevin Costner finally talks about Rob Reiner. Kevin Costner was born Kevin Michael Costner on January 18, 1955 in Linwood, California. Costner grew up far from the shiny lights of Hollywood. He was raised in a regular working-class family that taught him to work hard, keep going, and stay humble. His dad, William Costner, worked as an electrician and later became a boss at Southern California Edison, while his mom, Sharon Ray, stayed home and helped Kevin love music and acting from a young age. His family moved around California a lot, and that helped him learn how to adjust and stay strong inside, things that later showed up in his movie roles and in his real life in the crazy movie world. Costner went to California State University Fullerton, where he got a degree in marketing and finance. Back then, becoming an actor felt more like a faraway wish than a real plan. But one day on a plane ride home from England, he met famous actor Richard Burton by chance. Burton told him to go for acting, and that little push stayed with Costner. With quiet strength, he signed up for acting classes, took small jobs to pay the bills, and started trying out for parts, getting turned down a lot and feeling unsure. His first years in Hollywood were full of hard times, not quick wins, like when his parts got cut from his first big movie, The Big Chill in 1983. Instead of giving up, those tough moments made him want to try even harder. Costner's big break came in the middle of the 1980s with parts that showed his natural charm and calm coolness on screen. Movies like Silverado in 1985 and No Way Out in 1987 let people see how he could show strength, honesty, and real feelings without being too loud. His rise got faster with The Untouchables in 1987, where he played the lawman Elliot Ness with calm power and clear right and wrong. People really liked how Costner played good guys who followed their heart instead of showing off, at a time when movies often liked big, loud heroes. The late 1980s and early 1990s were when Kevin Costner became a huge star. In Bull Durham in 1988 and Field of Dreams in 1989, he became the face of America's sweet love for baseball, playing regular guys who were messed up but looking for meaning, second chances, and love. Field of Dreams especially became a special movie everyone remembers. Its ideas about making peace, believing, and holding on to dreams touched people of all ages. Costner's acting in it is still one of the most loved in sports movies, and it made him known as someone who could turn simple stories into deep, touching ones. Costner's dreams went bigger than just acting. In 1990, he directed his first movie, Dances with Wolves, a huge Western that showed Native Americans in a new, respectful way and changed what Westerns could be. The movie was loved by critics and made a lot of money, winning 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director for Costner himself. The win for Dances with Wolves was not just a big moment for his job, it was a brave way of saying he cared about history, different cultures, and telling big stories. It showed he was not only a star, but also a director with real ideas and strong beliefs. Through the 1990s, Costner kept trying new things. Movies like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves in 1991, JFK in 1991, The Bodyguard in 1992, and Wyatt Earp in 1994 showed he could do romance, political stories, and huge history movies. The Bodyguard especially became super popular around the world, with Costner and Whitney Houston in one of the most famous love and danger movies of the 90s. Even when some movies got mixed reviews, Costner stayed true to telling big, interesting stories, often picking parts he really cared about instead of safe ones that would make easy money. Like many actors who stay around a long time, Costner's path had hard times and new starts. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, new changes in movies and some big movies that didn't make money tested his place in Hollywood. But Costner never went away. Instead, he slowly came back strong with careful acting in movies like Open Range in 2003, which reminded people he loved westerns, and 13 Days in 2000, where his quiet way of playing a leader got new respect from critics. Lately, Kevin Costner has made a big comeback, reaching new people and showing his old magic again. Playing John Dutton in the TV show Yellowstone let a whole new group of people discover him, and it became one of the biggest roles on TV today. As the strong dad of the Dutton family, Costner brought seriousness, complicated right and wrong, and deep feelings to the part, proving he still holds the screen just as strong. The show showed everyone he still has that special pull and can carry huge stories with realness and power. Besides acting and directing, Costner is also a singer, leading his band Kevin Costner and Modern West. With music, he shows a more personal side, singing about love, losing things, and the beauty of America. His work to help the environment, save history, and help people matches the good values his characters usually have: caring for the land, being honest, and feeling responsible. Kevin Costner's love life has happened right alongside his rise to being a big Hollywood star, full of long love stories, family, heartbreak, and starting over. His first big love started in 1975 when he was still in college and had big dreams but no fame yet. Costner fell in love with another student, Cindy Silva, in a relationship full of young hope, shared dreams, and sticking together when success was still far away. After 3 years together, they got married, starting a 16-year marriage that went along with Costner's slow climb in movies. During their marriage, Costner and Silva had a family, with 2 daughters in 1984 and 1986, and then a son in 1988. While this was happening, Costner went from unknown actor to big Hollywood star, getting famous while also being a dad and husband. But the hard parts of being famous, always traveling, and long movie shoots hurt the marriage. In 1994, after years of problems, they got divorced. The breakup was in the news a lot, with talk that Costner had been with someone else while making Waterworld. The divorce was one of the most expensive in Hollywood back then, with Silva getting $80 million, which would be about $153 million today, showing how much it hurt both feelings and money. After the divorce, Costner had some short but talked about relationships. He dated Bridget Rooney for a little while, and they had a son together in 1996, making his family bigger. Around that time, he was also seen with political activist Bridget Rooney, Bridget Cunningham, in a quieter part of his life. In 1996, Costner's love life got some attention when he lived with famous supermodel Elle Macpherson for a while. Things became steady again in the early 2000s when he met Christine Baumgartner, a model and handbag designer who was quite a bit younger. After 4 years of dating, they got married on September 25, 2004, in a beautiful wedding at Costner's ranch in Aspen, Colorado. The place showed his love for the American West and felt like a fresh, calm start. Together they had 3 kids, 2 sons in 2007 and 2009, and a daughter in 2010. For almost 20 years, their marriage seemed to give Costner peace and balance away from the crazy Hollywood life. But even this story ended. In May 2023, Baumgartner asked for divorce, ending their 18-year marriage. The news got a lot of attention, just like before. On February 20, 2024, the divorce was finished, closing another big part of his personal life. Through love, heartbreak, and new beginnings, Kevin Costner's relationships have been like his career, big, full of real feelings, and shaped by living most of his life with everyone watching. At 70 years old, Kevin Costner has reached a time in his life and work where he naturally thinks about everything. With more than 40 years in Hollywood, Costner doesn't care about short, perfect answers anymore. Instead, he talks with the calm sureness of someone who has seen big wins, big losses, new starts, and keeping going. From this wise place, Costner has finally shared his thoughts about Rob Reiner, a director whose work, professionalism, and honesty left a big mark on him. Costner starts by saying why he's talking now, saying that getting older and having more life gives you clear eyes. You get to a certain age, he says, and you stop worrying about saying the perfect thing. You start worrying about saying the honest thing. For Costner, being honest means giving credit to people who helped him understand how to tell stories and lead. Rob Reiner, he says, was one of those people who quietly but strongly showed what it means to really respect the work. Looking back at Reiner's directing, Costner talks with clear love. Rob had this incredible ability to balance heart and intelligence, Costner says. He never talked down to the audience, and he never thought they were dumb either. Costner points out that Reiner's movies felt very real in feelings, but were also very organized and careful. That combination, he says, is way rarer than people think. A lot of directors have big ideas, Costner explains, but not everyone knows how to lead people to those ideas without hurting their feelings. Rob did. Costner also talks about how Reiner was always ready and fair on set. In a world full of big egos, Costner says Reiner was different because he was calm and steady. He came in prepared every single day, Costner remembers. And when a director is prepared, everyone else feels safe. You feel like your work matters. According to Costner, Reiner made a place where actors could try brave things without being afraid of looking silly. He listened, Costner says simply. That sounds small, but it's everything. As Costner thinks more, he connects Reiner's way to a bigger lesson about staying in Hollywood a long time. Careers don't last because of noise, he says. They last because of trust. Costner believes Reiner earned trust not only with talent, but with always being the same good person. People knew who Rob was when he walked into a room, Costner explains. There were no tricks, no guessing. That kind of clearness makes people want to work with you again. At 70, Costner also says he gets Reiner better now than when he was younger. When you're younger, you're focused on proving yourself, he says. Later on, you realize the people who impressed you the most weren't the loud ones. They were the steady ones. In Costner's eyes, Reiner is definitely one of the steady ones. He didn't chase trends, Costner notes. He trusted story, character, and timing, and he trusted people. Costner's thoughts are not just old memories for fun. Instead, they quietly remind us what really lasts in a changing business. Rob's legacy isn't just the films, Costner says. It's the way he treated people while making them. At this point in life, Costner says that lesson matters more than how much money a movie made or how many awards it got. When the lights go down and the years go by, he adds, what you remember is how you were treated and who treated you right. In finally talking about Rob Reiner, Kevin Costner gives more than just nice words. He gives wisdom that comes from time. At 70, Costner is not only looking back. He is showing the difference between just being successful and being meaningful, and reminding everyone that the best people in Hollywood are often known not only by what they make, but by how they make it. The talk naturally goes to legacy, and Costner is open about how Reiner's career helped change what being successful in Hollywood could mean. He proved you didn't have to be flashy to be great, Costner says. You could build a body of work that lasts, one that people return to years later and still feel something. For Costner, staying around a long time has always mattered more than quick fame, and he gives credit to directors like Reiner for showing him that example early. Rob made films that trusted audiences to think and feel. That kind of respect comes back to you over time.